You're muted. Matt, I don't. Sorry to cut you off. I don't think the Spaces is live. I tried to show you on the phone. I was just holding up for fun. It is? I did. I refreshed it like 5 times. There we go. Yeah, now it is. Right. I joined from my account too to get us some extra engagement. Let's give it a couple minutes for people to filter in here. It's being recorded as well, right? Good. Excellent. Some people are saying the YouTube stream isn't working. Oh, that was the test. YouTube stream's working right now. Excellent. Okay. Let me get ready. I'm gonna probably demo Matrix, so I can pull that up. How many we got in here? 50. All right. Let's see if we can get to 100 in 3 minutes and we can get started. Yeah, I'm actually very excited to demo Matrix, show you guys what's up with that. $64. All right. Get a little bit closer. All right. Why don't we drop some like AMA links here in the chats and just tag people. Discord. Just in case they didn't see the X. I'll just say everyone is live now. And if you could respond to the link, Matt Vig, because I don't have X on my phone. All right, I'll pin that for everyone. All right, one more minute here and then we can get started. We got 90 listeners so far. All right. Well, let's get started here. Got 101 listeners just on time. Perfect. Well, guys, today is going to be a very exciting AMA. We're going to go through all the questions that you have, all the concerns that you guys have been having. We're going to talk about a roadmap, what's coming up next, what we've been focusing on. And then, we're going to be talking about some of our goals for the future, which is very exciting. Just to kick things off as kind of an outline, there's a new product some of you guys have been hearing about. It's not really new. It's eGuard. It's what we've been developing for a long time, which is an encrypted iteration of the reactor. And it's being called Matrix now. And we're about to release Matrix. It's really exciting technology. I'm going to be going in depth over that later, what it means, who can use it, the different use cases, and so on and so forth. But then we also have Reactor Mark II, which is set to release soon. I know a bunch of you guys here have been testing it out in beta. We have the Reactor Mark II beta link in Wales, Killer Whales, and the QA Army. And soon we will be releasing beta link to the public, probably today or tomorrow. That's exciting. A bunch of the features have been upgraded. We have an entire UI upgrade to Reactor. We've upgraded the model itself. It responds much better. It does image search now, video search, web search is improved. It has references. It cites sources. It provides a very high quality experience, like Perplexity, like the top models out there, like Grok. And subscriptions will be dropping with it as well. So we should be able to start generating that subscription revenue from Reactor, which is a very exciting stage for us. This has been a long build out now. So it's Matrix, that's Reactor. And then, as you guys know, with this market, it's been pretty rough. We're still planning to do partnerships with different teams on virtuals, which will be taking place, as the market comes back and as those teams come back into the fold, wanting to launch. Just as of right now, we're not going to be doing those launches with the market so low. If you look at revenue for new launches, it's at almost like an all-time low. Pump Fund, for example, which we're not using Pump Fund, but Pump Fund only generated like 100K in revenue yesterday, and they're usually doing multi-million dollar days. So as the market comes back, you're going to see teams on virtuals, wanting to use Reactor. And then, there is the virtuals ARC token, which is Reactor, which those teams will have to hold if they want to utilize the Reactor framework or Matrix encryption on virtuals, which we can get into depth about. So on that note, we have 160 listeners. On that note, I wanted to talk about the the Reactor launch on virtuals or virtuals ARC, if you will. I see a lot of questions in the community. There was, a lot of emotions about that. And there was some miscommunication as well from our side on that. So I just want to apologize. The intention of launching on virtuals was to have our token on virtuals so we could start generating taxes off of the trading. That way the trading revenue would go back to the team and in turn to the community as well. And then over 14 to 30 days, we would transfer the liquidity from ETH over to virtuals, as well as a token supply, burning things back down towards that 1 billion cap. But it was the depths of the bear market. We communicated it, and we only gave people like 48 hours. A lot of people in the community were interested, but we didn't have full buy-in. We could have waited longer. We could have communicated it over, 1 or 2 AMAs instead of, doing things kind of quick, especially in this type of market. People are less apt to listen. So yeah, we could have done that better, but now I will say that that token will serve as a great base for expansion onto the virtuals ecosystem and collaborations with virtuals projects. And of course, that will go back to earn with ARC as well with our main token, the ARC token on Ethereum. So with that out of the way, I'd like to talk a little bit about Matrix. So a lot of you guys have been asking, what's Matrix? What does it do? It does a lot of things. It solves a major use case that other AI companies haven't really been able to solve yet. And it stands out not just as a better model, as a faster model that people could potentially ignore, but everything it does is provable on chain. So as things are encrypted, as processes are completed with Matrix, you can actually verify that on chain. So anyone trying to say that we're making things up or doubting the efficacy of our products, they'll be able to use Matrix and see for themselves on chain the results. And kind of just to go over what it is it's KeyGuard, but highly upgraded. So the point of KeyGuard in the past was, like, let's say you're a company, you're in healthcare, you have HIPAA regulations, or you're a company in Europe, you have GDPR regulations. Well, if your company wants to use AI, right now you have to co-locate your own GPUs or have your own data center, train your own model, because you're not able to just trust AI companies with that user data. It breaks regulations. It's not a very good practice. But with Matrix, anyone will be able to plug into our system, deploy their own AI. That AI model will be encrypted on chain, and then all the inference and the messages to the AI model will be encrypted. And we don't store a private key anywhere. So it doesn't matter who the company is, doesn't matter if it's a government, doesn't matter if it's anyone just needing to use a product. They don't have to trust that ARC is not going to look at their data like with any other company, like OpenAI, like what Elon is doing with Grok. It's just we literally won't be able to look at the data with Matrix because the private key isn't stored on our server. The user will retain the private key, and at any time they can decide whether or not to delete the private key. And all of the interactions with the model, including training, including deploying, it's all encrypted on chain. So now timelines that would have taken months to build a model in-house and millions of dollars, all you have to do is download MetaMask or another wallet, visit the Matrix app, and then you're able to deploy over 200 different AI models in seconds. You're able to speak with those AI models, and your company will have access to the best of the best AI on the market, but with our encryption and without having to trust us in any way, because it's a trustless system. I'd say it's one of the first true actual AI and DeFi innovations. Most of these agents out here are bots with a token, but this is legitimately encrypted AI models, encrypted inference. The model is doing inference on encrypted data itself, which to anyone who's highly technical, that's people have been trying to achieve that for a long time. So yeah, we won't have access to the data. The people who have the model on the platforms, they won't have access to it. The only person they'll be able to have access is the company and the individual. So you'll truly have sovereignly owned, private, decentralized AI. And we're very excited for that. So I think I'm going to screen share, kind of just show you guys how it works. Yeah. So we got the demo video here. So this is the just a basic app so you can interact with the encryption. Henry actually recorded this demo, if you guys couldn't tell. But here you go. So you can create your model name, anything you want it to be. You enter the model path, which is just the link. So Hugging Face, which has hundreds of models on it. So let's say your healthcare company, you want to use a healthcare model, boom, there you go. You want to use Grok, there you go. You want to use any other model on Hugging Face, just plug it in, create model. You actually you encrypt the model on chain. So you send that transaction out, it's created. Sorry, this play thing's in the way. Then you have the different models to select. So he just created that one. You enter the text for inference. This is the capital of Israel, for example. You press infer. And then you can see, like in the background, how we're able to process this data. And we get the answer back. Capital of Israel, Jerusalem. And at any time, you can delete your keys. And what companies are going to be able to do with this is just very quickly train models up that are fully owned by them, fully encrypted, without having to own all these GPUs, without having to hire out all these teams. Let's be able to plug into our framework and almost instantly have encrypted AI. And yeah, that's kind of our path moving forward. So I've been seeing some messages. It's like, what are you guys focused on? What are you doing next? Well, we've been focused on AI for years now. I mean, before the word agents even came out, Henry and I were talking about having, essentially AI bots that would work on behalf of the user, that would be owned by the individual, that would represent them in their digital lives autonomously, online. And as ChatGPT came out, transformers became a much more common architecture. ChatGPT started to evolve. We had Reactor, we had the world's first, ontological engine and smart contracts. We applied that towards AI. We integrated Lychee, which is an isomorphic engine capable of running, AI bots from Arduinos to satellites to microwaves to whatever. We integrated those together, and then we created our model, and then we started creating the encryption side of that. So not only did we create a highly performant model with Reactor, which any of you guys can test out today, we started on KeyGuard, which is AI encryption. And KeyGuard was great, but we still had a private key, so we could technically peek at the user's data. And now we have Matrix, which is the fully evolved version. So anyone can use Reactor. Anyone can use the hundreds of AI models out there. But with Matrix, you can truly own your data. You can truly own your AI model. And that's the path. That's layer X that we've been talking about for years. Layer X, Matrix, the AI. We've been working on Reactor. We want it to be the core model, of course, within Matrix. But we can essentially be the encryption layer for AI, which is a really big deal. Everyone out there wants encrypted AI. There's lots of different theories on how to do it, but we have a live demo right now that people can test out soon. And we've demonstrated that it works with over 200 models. And the market is huge. The entire world is moving to AI. They're going to need encryption for their models, for their daily lives, for their agents. That's what we're providing here at ARC with Matrix. So the path is still the same. We want our AI in the hands of millions of people. Um, that can be with Reactor if they decide to use Reactor over other models. That can be with Matrix because everyone's going to have an agent someday. Everyone and all these different companies are interacting with AI models, and Matrix will be the encryption layer for all of that. So great. All right, I have been kind of talking this whole time. So Matvey, you got anything? We got any good questions? For some reason, people can't hear you, Matvey. And no, I'm glad people could hear me this whole time. That was that whole spiel. No one being able to hear me. Yeah, I'll read these questions out loud. All right, so first question here. Can you explain the overall goals for the evolving ARC ecosystem products? Can you dumb it down and so that common folk can see why it matters? Um, yeah, I can do that. Although I will say that you guys are first adopters, so not necessarily common folk, but yeah, I mean, as I kind of explained earlier, we want ARC to be in the hands of millions of users. We want them to be using Reactor. We want anyone to be able to plug in a matrix and own their AI, own their data, own their agents. Dumbing it down really simply, almost every company in the world wants to use AI right now. Many of those companies are held back because AI is not encrypted. It doesn't follow regulations. Matrix makes it so that all those companies fit within regulations. It's a massive market that's untapped, very little to zero competitors. Matrix steps right in there and it offers a way for Reactor to be used by these companies on top of the Matrix encryption or any model they want to use. So it increases our chances of mass adoption significantly. Groot asked, I'd like to better understand the differences between the tokens of ARC on ETH and ARC on Virtual, why there are two and how one affects the other. Great question. So there's one ARC token, that's the ARC on Ethereum. ARC on Virtuals, that's Reactor, or Virtuals ARC. ARC on Virtuals, Virtuals teams that use Reactor are going to have to hold ARC on Virtuals. ARC on Virtuals is essentially the Reactor agent on the Virtuals ecosystem. So teams will have to hold that token, and then Reactor agent or VARC will be a part of Earn with ARC. So the main token ARC will continue and will always be the main token. These different agents that people launch using Reactor They will be a part of Earn with Arc. So that's CPA, the tax agent, right? That's a part of Earn with Arc, as well as Virtual's Arc, which is Reactor. And I'm just going to refer to it as Reactor from now on. But yeah, those are the answers to those questions. And then any idea on pricing using Matrix as a company? So that's a great question. What we will probably be doing is an integration fee. So normally companies, they need to spend hundreds of thousands, if not millions, training models up, having their own GPUs or their own data center um, to get around these regulations, or they can plug in a Matrix and it's much faster. So we'll do an integration fee. We'll be cutting those costs by significant margins. So we'll be wanting to probably do tickets in the tens of thousands for integration, and then it'll be rate based. So based on however many encrypted inferences are happening, however many models are being put on chain, how much data is being put on chain, we're going to charge per our transaction fees. So you can see where this is going. Eventually integration fees are going to be smaller and smaller, and those transaction fees will pick up as more people adopt the product. Modin said, do you see this as a catalyst for getting more partnerships, as currently you would expect to have more partners? I absolutely see it as a catalyst. I just spoke with someone the other day. It's actually a long-term contact of mine who I've never utilized for different companies, but I'm going to be utilizing now. And he's working with banks. He's working with multiple hospitals. And he wants to partner and potentially bring Matrix to all of the different clients within that ecosystem. And this person is very, very well connected. So yes, I see it as a catalyst. I already see people who want to take advantage of this and grow with us as we release Matrix. And I do expect to have more partners with this. So we're not convincing them to change models or anything. Everyone wants private AI, and that's what Matrix offers. Yeah, McToken asked, tell us more about Reactor token. So VARC on virtuals. In a recent post, you mentioned staking and other stuff coming. So we want to release staking. If we want to release some more stuff there, with this market, lots of projects are holding back on launching a token, which is understandable. But we are expecting on expanding into that ecosystem. I'm in touch with the Virtuals team and Virtuals founders right now on that front. Yeah, I mean, that's all I can say for now, but I plan on definitely evolving partnerships over there. If anything needs to be encrypted, it should be interactions with agents that are on chain. I think Matrix could be a natural fit for an ecosystem with hundreds of agents. Is ARC sustainable as a company, and will it be able to fund itself in case of a lasting bear market? So there's a reason why ARC has been around for years. It's run very responsibly. Most projects, they blow everything into marketing. They sell the tokens. The people suffer because they're treated as extra liquidity. Then those projects dip without ever actually fulfilling their initial goals. ARC's not like that. We've been building for years. We've been building with a very sustainable OPEX every month. I will say that we should be able to fund ourselves in case of a lasting bear market. So if it's a bear market like last time, 18 months, yes. And great. Anything else? I wish, maybe people want to hop on stage and ask questions about Matrix. Got a lot of listeners this week. Just checking Discord. People are testing out the Reactor Mark II in Wales. They said it speaks French, Norwegian too. Excellent. Yeah, guys, and if you want to test out Reactor Mark II, actually just go to beta.arc.ai right now and give it a shot. Let us know what you think. You can hop into our Discord and Telegram, and after testing the model. Did we ask anyone if they want to hop on stage, Matt? We can ask them on the, or can they hop on stage, being that's a broadcast? Okay, well, drop the Google Meet link. I love having people come on stage, even if they're critical, even if you guys have criticisms, um, disagreements, feel free to hop on stage and we can talk about them. Oh yeah, I just got reminded by Jameson, favorite community mod, besides Ryan, they're equal. But yeah, one thing I didn't mention with Reactor Mark II is we're going to have image generation as well. And people are asking if we could do weekly or bi-weekly AMAs again. So yeah, I will happily hop in, especially in this time. I think it's important communication. I agree with you guys. If you want to do weekly, bi-weekly AMAs, I'll happily make myself available every week. Feel free to press the link, guys, in Telegram for the Google Meets or in Discord if you want to join. Ave, could you put it on X as well underneath the broadcast? We don't have more Matrix questions. That's what I'm really excited for that. Yeah. And you guys, I think you can join Anon too if you want to. I know that's still important for some people. So you can join without an email, using an incognito browser if you need to. Let's give people a couple minutes here. I think we answered all the questions. We keep getting more listeners though, so guys, please ask more questions. Hop on stage. Do we have any more questions coming in, Matt? Yeah, I mean, we're planning to release that soon. I'll actually screen share for some of our new listeners. I'll screen share again. So we're generating revenue through multiple streams. We have partnerships, we have subscriptions, we have virtuals revenue. So, hey, Free Fire. Okay, all right. Let me screen share Matrix again, and then you know what? I think I'm gonna toss a little bit more alpha in there. So we have a Matrix deck that we're using to propose to people, and it's pretty exciting. I can probably go over that as well. You know what? Maybe I can go over that first. What am I thinking? Absolutely. So let me screen share. I feel like a boomer sometimes because I have like 1,000 tabs open. 2 seconds. So sorry for the call. 2 more seconds here, guys. So here we go. So Matrix, the privacy shield for AI. So some of the clients we're focused on right now is military, government applications, um, military contracts, especially here in the U.S. They're worth tens and tens of millions. And of course, governments, they have utmost need for privacy. So everything that has to do with AI, it's very slow for them to adopt right now because they got to trust the companies behind it. And most people already don't trust Sam Altman and others, but especially the government with military applications. So the problem, centralized AI systems, they rely on servers, developers. They create essentially like a big honeypot of risk. And if that's breached, all of a sudden, all those systems relying on that AI, they're vulnerable to being exploited, destroyed. And with military government applications, that's potentially hundreds of millions in infrastructure. The solution is Matrix. We offer homomorphic encryption. So the AI is actually doing the inference on encrypted data. That way, there's no, data exposure risks. We have the blockchain integrated, so they have the option whether or not they want to store private keys and keep track of all the different drones. Whether that be the Manta drone in the oceans right now that hunts nuclear submarines that the Navy's got going, or the different drones deployed throughout the world for reconnaissance with Anduril, a multi-billion-dollar company. They'll be able to not just have localized AI systems on these, but be able to communicate individually and update the AI of these drones with our system. Zero trust. So they don't got to trust ARC. They don't got to trust that I'm not going to peek into the data room because I literally can't. We're not storing the private key. So it's extremely valuable for anyone who needs confidentiality, especially the government and military. So kind of how it works, we process the encrypted data without decrypting it. So it's homomorphic CKKS encryption. The blockchain ledger verifies and secures the operations. So if you got the private key, you can decrypt what's going on blockchain. If you don't, you can't. So a military operational center like JSOC, they do a lot of high value missions. They can still look at all of the pieces of data with their private key, see what's going on chain, but no one else can. So access remains fully restricted through that decentralized key storage. And if you want, it can be stored on a centralized server for less confidential use cases. So for example, reconnaissance with drones, you're gonna have real-time intelligence that's secured. So the AI on the drone can be summarizing the different points of data that are going on. They can get it back very quickly through the system. It's encrypted, so chance that a signal's picked up, pretty high. Chance it's decrypted, next to zero. Autonomous, uncompromised missions, drone warfare. So jamming resistant communication, because an AI can operate autonomously within a drone, regardless of if communications cut off with the local network. So the drone can capture all that data once it gets out of the jamming range, instantly sends it over. That's high value intelligence. The There's just a whole lot of use cases, and this is just for military and government applications. There's healthcare. There's every company who needs to use AI, who wants agents for their company, but wants to keep their data private. It's a huge untapped market, and you don't have to use Reactor. You can use any other model through Matrix, and Arc still wins, man. So, yeah, with that, once again, just for all of our new listeners, we got 365 people in here. Let's go. I will kind of screen share how Matrix works again really quickly. And Nesto. So here's the Matrix demo. This is just a very simple front end. It's obviously going to look better. But you can create any model. You can connect to any model on Hugging Face. There's hundreds of them. You deploy that model on chain. You can inference with that model, as well as other ones. I mean, look here. Honey Llama, P3, P3 128. You can do bigger models. You enter the text, and it's performed on encrypted data. So Hugging Face can't even see what you're doing with it. Only the user has a private key can. So extremely valuable. And yeah, that's that. Ernesto.
How you doing, guys? I'm just connecting right now and just hearing what you got to say.
Cool. All right. I guess he's just gonna hang out with us. Any more questions we got, Matt? Oh, Ernesto. Ernesto can hear you. I don't know if other people can hear you. Can you guys hear Matt? Let's see. So roadmap throughout the year, guys. This is a big question. Surprised I'm just getting to it. So we got Reactor Mark II tested out right now in beta.arc.ai. It's very close to release. We really want to release that this month. We also want to be strategic. So let us know what you think. We'll release it in the middle of this bear trap if you want. Although I prefer to wait just a little bit till we start rallying back. But that's pretty much ready. Matrix beta is going to be ready very soon. I want to release beta early next month. And then I want to release pilots early next month with potential partners. I mentioned that long-term contact of mine, whom I'm very close with, who's already working with banks, hospitals. He wants to work together, so we're probably going to put ink to paper soon. And then we should have some great pilots for Matrix to work out with here. So I want beta next month. I want pilots next month. And then I want to release Matrix fully in May or June. Now Reactor Mark II should be coming well before then with subscriptions. CPA fixes should be done with that by hoping the end of this month. A Reactor, VARC, staking and other things should be completed within the next 30 to 60 days is what we're targeting, but obviously we don't want to spend too much on development right now and release things into the gaping bear trap that's here right now. No one will pay attention to them. But what I can say is communication is going to improve, guys. I want to have a call like this every single week. I love demoing Matrix to you. I love showing you the deck. And there's a lot to release. Like, our plan is still the same. We want ARC to millions of users. With Archimedes way back in the day, Swaps AI, you saw how ARC was working with AI. That improved with Reactor. It improved further with Lychee. It improved further with KeyGuard. And it's reaching its penultimate form with Matrix. And what we want is for the entire world to use our AI. And I really think there's a possibility for mass adoption of what we have with Matrix today, especially with Reactor Mark II as well. The improvements there are pretty crazy. So check them out, test it yourself. Once again, beta.arc.ai. And yeah, I think we got another few more questions here. So let's get to those. So Human Enterprise said it'd be great to reach the MSM mainstream media about Matrix. I agree. I think, working with my contact should help with that. I think also just some media campaigns are going to help. Matrix is one of those things where you prove that it works on chain. Like we do an inference, we encrypt the model. All right, try to decrypt what we did on chain. Here's the link. With Reactor, because we had IP we need to protect, you can't just release the Reactor open source. But with Matrix, the encryption's right there. Go ahead and try to break it yourself. There's a proof. Every single time you inference, every time you deploy a model, proof is there. So I think it's going to be easier to get some mainstream media attention there with that. Mo Din asks, when will Reactor be developed into being able to generate photos or vids? Very soon. So we want to include image generation with this initial release. You can test out yourself. John D asked, are you guys still writing science journal entries that are published in various publications? I definitely want to with Matrix. I think it's a great idea, especially because it's provable. I think that's going to provide a ton of value for researchers and academics. And then they asked, is Matrix going to be a separate token on VirtualSend? Absolutely not. Matrix is not going to be a separate token. It's an ARC product. It's going to be a part of Earn with ARC. Everyone who's, like we've said forever now, on-chain revenue is a part of Earn with ARC. We talked about Layer X forever now. That's what Matrix is. And we're not changing up our plans. And sorry if communication has sucked lately. But like I said, Matrix is the biggest part of our plan so far. It's the penultimate form of AI and crypto, because anyone can encrypt a model and inference in seconds on chain. It's absolutely part of ARC and will always remain a part of ARC. Human Enterprise said, Matrix is awesome, TJ. Can you share a little more on the marketing strategy of Matrix? How are you planning to promote it? And what's the sales route going to be, if you have that figured out? So we want to promote it by just letting anyone have access. They'll be able to deploy models for themselves. They're going to be encrypting and pushing things out directly on chain. They can try to break that if they want, and prove for themselves the efficacy of it. It's a trustless system. I also plan on partnering. We have all of our partners at ARC now, over 30 partners. We have our closer B2B partners. We have the partner working with banks and hospitals right now. And what we'll probably do is run pilots with all of our network. We'll start to generate some revenue from that. And then we will just be pushing case studies out. And as revenue comes in, we should be able to raise a significant amount of capital and then hopefully put a lot more money into marketing. But the cool thing about Matrix is you don't have to take market share from OpenAI, from Claude, from Grok. None of them offer encrypted AI. So it's something that everyone needs. And we're not going to have to compete with people who have much bigger budgets to push that product. Cairo. Hey, what's up? All right, well, got another person hanging out with us. They can ask a question when they're ready. So GMU76 asks, what's the update on CPA? So with CPA, there's a couple things coming. You guys have the roadmap for that there. We are planning on getting the MVP fully up and running here within the next few weeks. CPA, as of right now, you can test out the demo yourself at demo.agentcpa.ai. You can also test out the MVP at app.agentcpa.ai right now. And we are pushing improvements to that app over the next few weeks. And then, of course, there's the other things like CPA being part of Earn with ARC, collaborations with the ARC ecosystem, partnerships being created for CPA. And the plan there is still the same. We want people to be able to save a whole lot of money when it comes to taxes. All right. Got 400 listeners. All right. Cairo, anyone, any more questions from anyone? I think we hit all of them. Pretty good aim. What's strange? Man, whenever there's fun, I wish that it would happen during an AMA, so just address it. But it seems like strategically allocated for a distance from an AMA, so it can't be addressed quickly. Guys, if you have anything, criticisms, opinions, nice things to say, questions, feel free to ask them. We'll hang out here for another 3 minutes, and then we're going to end the stream. And actually, once again, let me just demo again how Matrix works while we got a bit of time left over here. Once again, guys, Reactor, it's an incredible AI solution. We already have it live right now. You can go to beta.arc.ai to test it out. We also have Matrix upcoming, which is an encryption solution for any AI model. You're going to be able to use encrypted AI, and you don't have to trust us because you're going to have the private key. No one else will. Your model and your data will be encrypted on chain. All you have to do is go to the platform, type in your model, type in the path. You press deploy. It's deployed on chain. And ARC won't be able to see what you're doing with the model. Hugging Face won't even be able to see. No one. You're going to have complete, sovereign private control of your model. And we're very excited to be pushing that soon. So, and then of course we also have Reactor Mark II, which is the upgrade to our proprietary AI model. So you guys can test that out right now at beta.arc.ai as well. Let me just show you a little bit how it works. So you can find things on the web. You can search X. I didn't even mention that earlier. I should have mentioned that. For anyone looking for alpha on X for trading, that's where it is, right? CT is on there. You can do an X search. You can use Wolfram Alpha to solve complex math, Reddit, YouTube. I don't know who wants to use Reddit. Web search, very simple to use. It says I need to log in actually. Whoops. But you guys can make an account, get in here and test it out for yourself. It works very fast. It's a smooth process. And that's our proprietary model we got. I think we scrubbed the database. That's why my password isn't working. Cool. All right, is that it? Well, man, I kind of want to screen share real quick because we do need some more beta testers. So, real quick, guys, if you can, before we close it out, we have Matrix upcoming. There's a lot of things upcoming. Our focus is still the same. We want everyone to use our AI, but test out Matrix right now. Make an account. Beta.arc. Or sorry, Reactor. Beta.arc.ai. Web search. It has all these social options. Generate images. You can check unbiased news sources. You can subscribe for unlimited access. Provide a ton of value. But let me just show you an example. The UI is much smoother. We're using a different formatting library, and we can actually even speed this up too. But quantum computing, this is using web search. It's talking about Shor's algorithm, explaining how qubits work. You can see we actually provide the sources as well. So yeah, very exciting stuff. And you have access to image search as well as video search. We can provide YouTube links as well. So yeah, guys, very exciting AMA today. Thank you for all of your questions. Again, communication hasn't been the best. That's done. That's over with. We're fixing that. I'm going to be in an AMA every week if necessary, bi-weekly if necessary. Our mission is still the same. Create amazing products that the world is going to leverage. It's the same mission ever since we thought of Reactor. Ever since we conceived that people are going to have agents someday that they own. They're going to represent their digital lives. You see that with Reactor, with an incredible model we've created. You see that with Matrix, literally the super highway of AI encryption. You can encrypt any model in seconds, deploy it from your wallet. Showed you guys the demos. Full steam ahead. We're going to be releasing these over the coming months, and test them out yourself, guys. And thank you for all the support. And that was state of the art. Thank you all.